Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Olumide. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to color grade your images, enhance your skin tone, and make your skin tone pop in Photoshop. Photoshop is fun. Let's have fun. The first thing you need to do is come to your adjustments layer over here. Adjustments, go for your gradient map here. And if you can't find it here, you can always come to the bottom left corner of your screen down here. You can just click and select gradient map. Once you select your gradient map, click on this slider here down to display all the options. Now we don't want all these colors here because they are kind of multiple colors and they are not good for photography. This is good for other things, but for the sake of photography, when it comes to skin tone specifically, these colors are not good. So come to your settings icon right here, left click on it, then come to photographic tuning, and you see it down there. You click on it as well, then click OK. Now Photoshop will give you options of different gradient map that you can pick from. So now we need to select from the one that is very close to skin tone, and the closest one, and which is actually my favorite, is this one, this sepia Arctic right here. At times I use gold as well, but for this particular picture I choose to use this sepia Arctic. Now once you click on it like that, now the next thing you need to do is come to the color slide here, just on it like this, left click. So now it will bring you to gradient editor. Now why are we doing this? We want to make sure I will be the one to dictate the kind of color I want in my image. So this is the option that the Photoshop is giving me, but now I want to fine-tune the color a little bit. She's fair, so I want to fine-tune the color. I want to introduce a little bit of yellow into the image. I want to introduce a little bit of blue into the into my yellow into my mid-tone and highlights, and I want to introduce a little bit of blue and magenta, something like that, into the shadow. So this is the trick, and this is how we do it. Instead of us repeating gradient map for highlights, then we'll do for shadows as well. That's a waste of time. We can just do everything at once here and click OK. Don't get confused. I'll show you right now, right here. So what you need to do first, all these slides here, slides here, it's talking about the highlights. This color stop here is representing the highlights. We have the midtones and we have the shadows. So now the first thing we want to do is we want to come to this color stop that is working for the midtone. So you want to click on it. Once you click on it, you come to your color, click on your color. Now it brings you to color picker. Now if you check this slide here, this slide here represents the hue, so we want to adjust it a little bit towards here. It's around orange and red, so we want to push it up a little bit to yellow. Are you following? So now you just click on it like this and push it up a little bit to yellow. Don't forget that whatever color you want to color grade your picture into, you should have a kind of picture painted in your mind. So when you're just into Photoshop, you are just doing what you already have in mind. So now you push it up a little bit again, just like that. I'm okay with that. Then we'll come right into the color here. I want to increase the saturation and as well the brightness, so I will just push it towards my right hand side, then push it up a little bit as well. I think I'm okay like that. Yes, I'm okay. You can always come back and adjust it if you're not okay. So click OK. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to come to the highlight as well. Click on it, select the color, just the same process. Now this time around we don't want to do anything with the saturation and the saturation and the brightness. We just want to adjust the hue, so we just take it up a little bit as well. I think that's okay. We click OK. Then we'll come to the shadows right here. click on it, then click on the color. If you look at the color here that the Photoshop is doing is black, I don't want much of black, so what we just need to do is we want to introduce a little bit of blue. So I'll just okay, I changed my mind, let's use magenta. So let's just leave the hue like that. So let's just come to the brightness and saturation. So we just drag it up a little bit, somewhere around there. Can you see it? You can even see the effect on the image right in the Photoshop there. So then you click okay, let's see, drag it, click okay. Now what I want to do is I want to bring out the shadow a little bit more. So how do you do that? You come to your slide right here. You can see the slide of the mitten. Once you click on it, you have another extra 2 dots that you can use in adjusting your slide. So now you drag it up, click again. I want the mitten as well to cover a little bit part of the highlight, so I push it up as well towards the side like that. I think okay. So then you click okay. Now this is what we have. Before I continue, please let me quickly tell you this. For beginners, at times you watch some tutorials online and they will tell you to dial in some numbers, you get a particular skin tone. I would advise, it's not always advisable to follow such patterns, because most times the image they use, the skin tone might not be the same skin tone with what you are doing. I don't know if you understand. They might be editing someone with a different skin tone entirely, and when you dial in such numbers, it might only be applicable to the image they are editing. So most times it's good for you to know how to go about it yourself, so that you can select the perfect skin tone and do a perfect job color grading on your image. So now back to our picture. Now we are done with that. All we need to do now is we come to soft light. We change the blending mode to soft light. Now if you look at it before and after, right now I don't really like this color. I still want a little bit of yellow, so we can always go back to adjust that. Just double click on your gradient map settings here, then click on here like we did earlier. Then you come to the mitten, click on it, then come to color just like we did, then come to your hue again and just push it up a little bit towards yellow. I hope you can even see it right there. You can see the changes. Let me push it overboard so that you see the difference. Can you see the difference? Now it's almost green. If I push it to blue, the image will be blue, but we don't want that. So let's come back. I want it somewhere around the yellow. I want the yellow to pop. Yeah, I think I love this. You can see it. I love this yellow. Yes. And as well, I can still push it up so that it becomes, can push the brightness and saturation up. I think I'm beginning to like this. Yeah, I think I love this. This is cool. This is cool for me. Click OK. Click OK. Now let's look at it before and after. Yes, I love this yellow before and after. Don't worry about the background. We can always come back to that and change. So now the next thing we need to do is we need to reduce the opacity. It's too much. But before we reduce the opacity, I want us to limit whatever we are doing to the image alone. So now what you need to do, come to your mask and invert. Just press Ctrl I. I'm using Windows, so Ctrl I. Then pick your brush, select your brush by just pressing B on your keyboard. Make sure the hardness is 0. Set your opacity to 100, your flow 100 as well, and make sure your foreground color is set on white. If it's not set on white, you can just reset it by pressing D. It will reset automatically. Make sure your foreground color is set on white. Then we'll paint. And please, when you are painting, you click on your mask layer, then you paint just like that. Please, when you are painting, don't paint the eye. Okay, don't paint the eye when you are painting. Just paint only the skin. So right now I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to speed up the video so not to waste your time. So welcome back. Now you can see I've painted just only the skin, and now you can see before and after. You can see the difference is massive. just that it's too much for now, but we can always adjust with opacity before, after. Now if you look at it, I've painted part of a cloth and which I don't want. So what do you need to do? Just click on black, which is to hide. Now just click on change your foreground color to black and paint back the white color on the outfit there. You can always do that too to every other part that has been painted, part of our nails here, you just paint them out back, just like that. I'm okay like that. You can see now before and after we are getting that sweet yellowish skin tone already, but then it's just too much. So we reduce our opacity to something around. When it comes to color grading, let me just give you an advice. Your opacity should maximum should be around 35, to be honest. If not, it might end up damaging your image. That's my opinion, and it's just an advice. You can try whatever you think it's good for you. As far as your client wants it, it's okay. So now I push it down as far as, let's say, 50 for the sake of this tutorial. 50, let's see, before and after. Are we seeing it well? Let me show you again. Let me zoom in. Before, after. Okay, fine. Now the next thing we need to do is we come to our vibrance. Click on your vibrance. Don't change anything on the vibrance, just come to saturation. Increase the saturation by 3 or 4. For me, 4 is okay. I love it this way. Then once you have 4 like that, I think it's okay. Then the next thing we need to do is just come to your curves, then we'll push it up a little bit. Boom, just like that. Now as we push it up a little bit like this, we've lost some contrast, which is not too good. So the next thing we need to do, come to your black and white. Click on your black and white. You have this. Then just change it, the blending mode, to soft light. Are you seeing it? Then push down the opacity to something around 13 thereabout. Then all that we've done, don't forget, from gradient map to vibrance to curves and to black and white rather, sorry. Then we'll group it. What you need to do is just click on the black and white, which is the last thing we did. Hold your shift and come to the gradient map, click as well. Then you use your Control G, or you just bring it down right here. It groups it. Now look at our before and after, before and after. Even right now, it's just too much. So we can always, since we group everything now, we'll come to the overall opacity and just drag it down. Can drag it down to, if I'm to give my client this kind of work, I will drag it down to, in fact, I drag it down to 0. That's how I do mine. So I drag down to 0, then from 0, I start taking it back up till I got to a level that I've gotten what I wanted. Okay, and once I get around 25, I become more very vigilant and careful. So around 33 is okay. Let's see. Let me zoom in. Before and after. Are we seeing it? Let me take it up a little bit so that we see the difference very well. Let me push to 50. Let's see. Before and after. Before and after. Before and after. This is fantastic, and that brings us to the end of the tutorial. If you know you've learned something, please like, share, make comment and subscribe. See you in our next tutorial. Thanks.